Okay, so viewers and watchers, this is Richard from Taiwan, and actually, uh, seriously, I go live a lot today, but I don't know. And whenever I have some free time, I want to share my knowledge in English. I am not a professional English teacher. I'm not really good at English, but hopefully I can do something for people. I can help people because nowadays lots of people want to practice English a lot. So today my topic is how to memorize English vocabulary efficiently. And this is a very important topic for English learners because most of the time people memorize English words one by one. That's not efficient. Hello, Umar. It's very nice to see you. That's not efficient at all if you memorize English word one by one. So that's the way, hello, and that's the way I want to share my tips, my methods of memorizing English words. And hopefully, I hope my way, my approach to remember English words can help you a lot because if you use the traditional method to memorize English words, that is not so efficient. So that's the reason why I want to share my way to remember English words. So, okay, hello, Samir. I'm so sorry I didn't want to bring anyone on today because I quickly end this lesson and then I need to go to work today. I have to rush to work today, and I'm so sorry for that. Okay, my apology for that. And viewers and watchers, I am Richard from Taiwan, and I'm an English teacher, but I'm not so qualified for that. But I try my best to share my feelings, and I'm feeling my ways and my teachings, my experience of learning English with you guys. Yeah, Samir, I'm so sorry I cannot bring you on because I have to share my methods of how to memorize English words. Okay, so right now let's get started. Okay, so if you like my ways of remembering words, please you use the way to do it. Okay, so let's get started. How to remember English word efficiently, and hopefully I want to use this method because it is a very efficient method. It's a very great method for you to memorize English words. So let's get started. Okay, today my topic is how to memorize English words. Hello, Celine, my lovely brother. How to memorize English words efficiently. Okay, so my viewers, my friends, my watchers, please you tell me uh, this word is poem, right? This word is direct, right? And how do you memorize the two words? How do you learn the two words? Tell me. You think about it in your mind. In traditional learning method, you just memorize the two words directly. Then everything you can learn is just two words. Okay? But let me ask you one question here. Do you want to learn only two words at a time? Or you want to learn 8 to 12 words at a time? If you can do it, do you want to just remember two words? Or with the same effort, do you want to learn more up to 8 to 12 words at a time? Of course, we want more. If we can memorize more English words, then we do it. So in traditional learning method, we only remember two words like this. But if you use my method, you can learn 8 to 12 words at a time and very easily to remember those words. And how do we do that? Let me give you my tips and suggestions for this. That is, please, before you remember the words you want to learn, please do something first. That is to find out all the forms of a word. Please do that because we know that there are several different forms of one word. For example, we have nouns, we have adjectives, we have adverbs, we have verbs, we have lots of different forms of a word. Please, you find out all the forms of a word first. If it is possible, even you find out more phrases and idioms about a word. And then you can learn these related words together. So that's the reason why you don't just learn 2 words. You learn like 8 to 12 words. So I'll give you one example about that. Whenever you learn the word poem, how do we really memorize the word efficiently? Don't remember the word directly. First of all, find out all the forms of a word. So you find out the noun, you find out the the adjective, and maybe the adverb of the word. So let's try it. How are the forms of the word poem? Okay, I'll give you the example here. Whenever you learn the word poem, don't just memorize the word, the noun form of the word. It's not enough. Please, you check it out. You check it up in your dictionary. You look it up in your dictionary, and you write every form of the word down and memorize it all together, because they look similar. So it is very easy for you to remember all the different forms of the word poem. Okay, so let me give you some example here. Besides poem, the word poem, you should also remember the other noun, poetry. Poetry. Because poem is a countable word. A poem, 2 poems. But poetry is a collective word. Also, we can say it is an uncountable word, an uncountable noun of poem. And you can see the spelling is so similar like poem. So you can remember it so easily. So that's the way we remember poem. You not only remember this, but also you remember all the forms related to this word poem. Okay, so also we have the other form of poem. That's the other form of noun, point. Point. It's like the person who writes a poem. A person who writes a poem, we call it a point. We call it point. Okay? So right now, you not only remember this word, you also remember the other 2 words. And you can remember these words so easily because their form are so similar. You can remember the words so easily. And also look it up in your dictionary. You can also find the adjective of this word poem. That is poetic. Poetic. Poetics means something just as beautiful as a poem. So this word is a very useful and good word to learn. And this is the adverb form of poem. So poetic, poetic, poetic. Okay? So right now you don't just only learn the word poem. With this method, you learn 3 different words. You learn 3 more extra words. And actually, they look so similar. And that is the reason why you can remember these words so easily. Because they just look like the original word, poem. So, poem, poetry, poet, poetic, poetic. So that's the way we learn to remember and memorize English words efficiently. You just find out all the forms of the original word, then you can remember that easily because they look similar, right? Okay, so let's do the question here. And as long as we understand the meaning and as long as we know all the forms of the word, we can quickly find out the answer. Robert Frost is a famous US, of course, poet. See how easily it is. And then on Valentine's Day, people may send a card with the love's what? To someone they love. Right? You see so you have to find out a countable word. Of course, the answer is poem. Right? You cannot write poetry. Poetry is not a countable word. It is an uncountable word or a collective word. So we cannot use a here. Okay? So the next sentence, our English teacher asked us to read more novels and blank in English. You see, we don't have a here. So we use the collective form, the uncountable form, poetry. So the answer is poetry. Okay, let's read the sentence again. Our English teacher asked us to read more novels and poetry in English. Okay, let's go on. To win Julie's love, Leo wrote a blank love song for her. To win Julie's love, Leo wrote a and blank, okay? And you see love song is a noun. So all the time we have to find out an adjective to modify a noun. So the adjective is like poetic, poetic love song for her. So you see, whenever you read the word, you memorize the word poem, please don't just remember the word. We have to find out all the forms of the word. So it's like you not only remember this, you remember 3 other words here. Then you remember 4 words at the time, right? That's a good method for you to remember English words. Okay, then let's try one more. Direct. Do you want to learn the word only? Of course not. That is not efficient at all. If we can remember this word and also we can remember every form of direct, then you can learn more. You can memorize more, a lot more. Okay, let's do it. Direct. Okay, here. Please don't remember direct only. Direct can use as a verb and an adjective. So you learn 2 usages of the word direct. And also we have to remember the noun of direction. Direct, direction, that's the noun, okay? Oh, that's the Chinese. I'm so sorry for that. And also we remember the person. It's like the person who directs a movie. We call that director, right? So you don't just remember the word direct, but also you have to remember all the forms of the word, okay? And indirect, that's the opposite meaning of the adjective direct. And if that's possible, you can also find out the idioms and phrases for direction or for direct, okay? So that's the way we learn English word efficiently. It's like we find out all the forms of a word and you remember all the forms of the word. And because every form of the word looks very similar to the original word, so you can remember this word so easily. So that's a very efficient method to remember a word, okay? And I don't have a lot of time right now, so I do not really go through this I don't really get through these questions because I don't have enough time right now. So viewers and watchers, let's see how many words you can remember here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2 phrases, 10, 11. So if you use the traditional method to remember a word, you only remember the 2 words, poem and direct. But if you can really find out all the forms of a word and you can remember it easily. Why? Because they look so similar. So that's very easy for you to remember. So don't just remember the 2 words here. If possible, please find out all the forms of a word. Then it's easy for you to remember 8 to 12 words at a time. Wow, that's amazing, right? So that's a good way to remember and memorize English words, and that is a very efficient method to do. So try to use that method, and hopefully this lesson can help you to remember English words more efficiently. And I'm so sorry because I don't really have much time to do more practice. So I just gave you a concept about that, and maybe you can use this concept, you can use this rule, you can use this method to learn more about English words. So thank you so much for joining me. See you next time. Bye bye.